Hi. My mom, as I've written and talked about, was a full-time mother. She was always available for us. She was always present. Was she a perfect mother? No. And I want to encourage all of you that none of us will be perfect mothers. My mom was raised in a family of 7, and then she married my dad, who was an only child, and he moved her out to California right before I was born, and she really didn't know anybody, and she didn't like to read. She wasn't a reader. So she watched soap operas all day long and talk shows, and and she was she a perfect housekeeper? No, but she was pretty good. But she loved people. She loved us. She was always available to us. I never saw her reading her Bible. She didn't really talk to the Lord about us, but my mom and dad faithfully attended church. She faithfully went to women's Bible study all of her adult life, pretty much. And we just knew she loved the Lord, even though she didn't talk about it. I think she liked watching TV all day long because she was lonely and she liked hearing voices. She was being raised in such a noisy home. And so, but she raised the 3 of us, and all 3 of us have talked about it, and none of us really like TV. we watch very little TV because of that, but we all love our mom. We are so appreciative of her availability. We're all very emotionally stable and secure because we always knew she loved us. When I came home, I would fling open the door and Mom, and want to tell her all about my day, and she would listen. She made life fun. People loved coming to our home, and she made our birthdays special and the holidays. And she loved taking us out for meals, and just her availability and her presence. I cannot tell you what a huge gift that is for children. Was she perfect? No. Now I'll tell you about me as a mother. Was I perfect? No. I was sick most of my children's childhood. But my oldest daughter has been saying lately, she said, I don't remember you being sick. I just remember you being joyful, and which is wonderful for me to know because if they thought about it, they would remember the years of all of my suffering. And I think my youngest daughter probably remembers it most, but I was very sick their whole entire childhood. But because of that, I was always home and I was always available for them. They always knew I'd be there. They always knew I'd be there for them. I worked with them on their Awana verses. Could I be the perfect housekeeper? No, because I was so sick. And I fed them the best I could. But, I just did the best that I could. And my priority was to be there for my children, to train them, to discipline them, to raise them in the ways of the Lord. It wasn't to have a perfectly spotless house. It wasn't to have perfectly home-cooked meals 3 times a day. And these weren't goals of my mom's either. Our goal was to be there for our children, period. And this is the gift that you give your children, women. You're not going to be a perfect mother. You're going to make mistakes. Your house will look like a tornado went through it sometimes, especially if you have small young children. When my grandchildren are here, I just had 5 of them here yesterday, and it looks like a tornado, But when they leave, I clean it up. It's no big deal. I don't get stressed out about it or anxious. I just enjoy them. I sit outside with them and feed them, and we sit in a circle and we talk, and I listen to them. I read them books. I do puzzles with them. I spend my time with them. I want to be present with them and available for them. Their mother is home full time, very available and present, but she's got a lot of things on her plate. But she's there for her children. They are happy, stable, secure children. We have a daycare down our street, and many mothers bring their children to this daycare, and they're there from 8 in the morning till 5:30 at night, and it just breaks my heart. The chances of those children growing up to be emotionally stable and secure are slim. Even though they live in beautiful homes, They have everything money can buy. They have the newest clothes and everything. None of that matters to kids in the end. One woman said that their mother was home full time, but they had a struggle. It was a really struggle. The dad had to work a couple jobs or anything. It's like, so struggling isn't bad. Struggling doesn't harm your children. Mothers not being home for their children is what harms them. A messy house even doesn't harm your children. Eating junk food once in a while doesn't harm your children, or not having 3 amazing cooked meals. Just be present for your children. Be available for your children. Love your children. They need you in their home with them. This is the greatest treasure that you can give them as children. Even through high school, my kids would want to come home and talk with me, share what was going on and work things out. I'd work with their thinking and whatever. We let up our standards some, but they needed me until they left the nest. And now we all have a great relationship. I have a great relationship. I had an incredible relationship with my mother. She was my best friend. I have an incredible relationship with all my children. We all love each other deeply. So it's worth it, mothers. Don't put too much stress on yourself about things that don't matter, that aren't eternity. Store your treasures in heaven, and those treasures are your children. And make sure you're loving your husband too. One of the greatest gifts you can give your children is loving their daddy and taking care of him and pleasing him too. This is our role that God gave us, women, and it's perfect. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.